And Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hope elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, West Indian, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelite that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. Got to give all praises to Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone who led me to this truth, who have been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who dwell in the hopeful elect, and to whom the elect are scattered across the four corners of the earth. Lord willing, we be part of that number. Lord willing, this be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. Shalom. The judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, and it's not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9. So I wanted to do a land back and also a testimony of some things that I went through in this truth. You know, as new as I am, you know, I learn something every day in this truth. And I wanted to do this video. I'm about to head out, and I got some things I got to take care of, and I'm going to go fellowship with my camp leader. So we was in the spirit last night, and I had some questions about this topic, you know, and that's how before I try to do lessons, you know, sometimes I go to my camp leader and ask him, what do you think about this lesson? What do you think? And we had a lot of conversation about it. And you know, there's a lot of women that claim to be, you know, part of the hopeful elect. You know, well, and in all reality, you know, you may be, who knows? But we look at it like, I'm gonna put in the title of this lesson. It says, you hopeful elect ladies need to be like we are to the Lord. Pygmies. We're just like that. And I got that from GMS Awakening. I'm one I'm one Gabar, you know, 144. And he was saying like we're pygmies to the Lord. And these women that's not being pygmies like that to us, you know, the Lord's not going, you know, he's not going to take you serious. He's dealing with his men. And the testimony that I have is, you know, I had a sister, she was following me for a good while. Okay. And she was, you know, watching all my videos, you know, saying shalom, you know, putting herself out there to see, hey, I see you doing your lessons. And then, you know, then one day she came across, gave me a garment. Okay. And then we ended up having more conversation on there. And then she just put it out there like, hey, I'm looking for a husband, you know? And women think like this is like some kind of I believe like a lot of you know, women in the truth, you know, especially the Judite women, you know, they're kind of afraid to put themselves out there, you know, to let some of the brothers that they see that are in the truth, you know, especially Great Millstone, there's women that, you know, they want to, you know, get with a certain man in the truth. And I'm really just putting this out there because this is something that, you know, this is something that has happened. So, you know, I asked my elder about it, and you know, he was saying like, you know, you have to put yourself out there, just like we're putting ourselves out there for the Lord. We're going in the highways by always saying, "Look at me, look, I can do this, Lord, just pick me." That's what you need to be like with the specific man that the Lord puts the Spirit on you to be fond of in this truth, you know. But you have to have certain traits, okay? Like the woman that approached me, she has been a third wife before, okay? And her husband
Okay, her ex-husband, or he passed away. About 10 years ago. Okay, she came in the truth for 5 years and been praying to the Lord for a man. Okay, and you know how I think about it is a lot of women that think, well, I don't, they're real self-conscious. Like, I don't look this way or this way or this good, but you got to understand, you approaching the spiritual men of the Lord. We're not going to look at looks over the spirit. If your spirit is right and you're submissive, that man might take you. I'm not saying it's 100% possible that his ego take you. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you're not getting on the chariot unless you taken by one of these men, you know, because it's got to come to pass that each one of these men have a group amount of women, and then you'll have the children behind that, and you know, there's no Beyonce's getting on the chariot. So this is more than just hooking up. Okay, this is kingdom building. This is a commandment of the Lord. And if you really are, uh, uh, a woman who claims to be part of the hopeful elect, you're supposed to be aiding these men. You know, if you don't got a husband already, you need to get you one. That's basically what I'm saying. You need to go find one of these men and focus on him and be his aid. You know, and stick with him. And if he tell you to do something, do it because it's the Lord telling them to tell you. Women try to look at when they come to the men of Great Millstone, known down the followers. So a lot of women there, they see, how, sometimes we get on 2/3 women and all that. It's like almost like they automatically apply it to themselves and be scared to put themselves out there. But you got to, because it's like this. Let's say you go to, I'm about to pull up some precepts in a second, but let's say you go to a ball. Let's say you go let's say how we used to go to prom, and the band used to be like, oh well, man, I really want to talk to this girl. I really want to, I really want to take her out. Well, how is she gonna know unless you let her know? She ain't gonna say yeah if you don't ask. You know, so you got to be more brave to ask than be someone who waits too long. Because it's gonna come to a point where it's gonna be women flocking towards the elect, whomever they may be. You know, and Lord willing, we part of that number. And we're supposed to be putting on the image of the elect. And this is what it said. How a lot of I believe a lot of women, they're too scared to put on this image, because of whatever's happened in the past with men, especially the Judite women, because there's been a bad image painted on them for all the wicked ones that are putting themselves out there and just saying all types of wicked stuff, you know. So there's very few of them, who are sincere. So it's scary. It's scary for them to try to put themselves out there, And I'm getting all this from, from speaking to, a Judite woman that's actually, she hasn't even been with two men. She only been with one. Okay, and been to the truth for 5 years, diligently watching, and to have the Lord put the spirit on her to approach me because I wasn't looking for nothing. I wasn't going out trying to get with anybody. I wasn't going out trying to, you know, conversate with women. I was more like, you're gonna have to prove, you're gonna have to show me, and I'm not saying you gotta be, like her to be in the truth. I'm just trying to put a testimony out. Okay. This really happened, And so, you know, she had a daughter, and her daughter, she's fond of somebody, uh, also one of the brothers in Great Millstone, but she's scared to present herself, because she's a Judite woman, and she's fond, she, a fair woman, like I don't see, uh, you know, what could happen out of it, but I'm more like the women that the Lord put the woman that the Lord put the spirit on me to come to try to present herself to me and to be my aid. She has already been that woman before. She's already been one who was married, who was with her man had multiple wives, you know, and that's the kind of woman you need to be prepared to be. You know, if you're in this truth, you know, you think you're gonna just have one man or a man with one woman. No, he's gonna have multiple women here. You know, when it comes down to the point to where, you know, this happens. We're gonna put it up. We're gonna pull it up. So Isaiah 4 verse 1. You know, this is more about kingdom building. You know, we're supposed to be putting on the image of the elect, and you know, the Lord put the spirit on me to, you know, take this faith more seriously. And, you know, we're here to protect the believers, you know, the ones who, you know, who are sincerely looking for a husband, you know, and those women are looking for someone to lead them, you know, and this is just for the ones that if the shoe fit, it fits. If it don't, then it don't apply to you. You know, I'm not trying to make it seem like, you know, this is for the ones who are scared to put themselves out there to the men for any reason. Okay, these are spiritual men. If you come sincere, it don't matter what you look like. Okay, if the Lord put the spirit, you got to remember, you never know that the Lord making you fond towards you, man. That could be who you was with at another time in your life. You know, you never know. So you got to just pray to Bahasham, Yahawashi, and have that courage to put yourself in them shoes. You know, and be you know honest about what you want. But you know, closed mouths don't get fed. You can't say you love your Bahasham Yahawashi as a woman, and then you know he tells you to be to get a master. You know, it's and this is why this is happening right here. Okay, it says and in that day, and it's coming, 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So we're going to read that in the NLT. And it says, in that day, so few men will be left. See, there's not going to be that many men left out here. So right now, you know, you're not going to be able to know really, you know, who the elect is. But by that time, you're going to know. And at that time, it's going to be a whole lot of women coming after these men, whomever they may be. Lord willing, we part of that number. But it's not like we're going to be getting with each other to, you know, go on a date. Like, no, you getting with this man so you won't inevitably get hit by these intercontinental ballistic missiles. Okay? This is more serious than what people perceive. You know, you got these other camps that are out here and they make it seem like it's just a relationship. It's not. This is deeper than that. Okay, we're talking about salvation. Okay, it's way more serious than that. You know, and of course you want to be around somebody that wants you to be around. You know, so what kind of man of the Lord wouldn't want you around if you wasn't, you know, presenting yourself as this woman to the best of your abilities? So it says, in that day, few men will be left, 7 women will fight for each man. She said, will fight. It's gonna be women fighting for these men, women that's fighting for them. So either you got right now, the Lord has blessed you and put you ladies in this truth, the ones that are, before they even all these other women gonna start pulling up. So right now it's your chance to take your shot, because later on you're gonna be fighting over that man, and it's gonna be way harder to get picked. You better be a pick me right now. But like I said, it's just an exhortation to them women that's out there saying they in the truth and they've been following brothers for years and still ain't got no husband. What are you doing? You're supposed to be here to aid us. You know, you're supposed to be picking one of us and calling him Lord. I'm gonna pull up the precepts in a second. And this is why, you know, but I wouldn't have did it unless I had someone who was, hey, I'm gonna do this for you, you know. So you never know who's watching you. You know, I didn't think no sisters was watching me. You know, you never know. You got probably some sisters that have been watching brothers for years and been wanting to talk to them, wanting to put themselves out there. That do it because it's gonna come a time everybody gonna be running up. So it says, fight for each man, saying, let us all marry you. They said, come on, we all want to get married to you. Hurry up. We will provide our own food and clothing. Only let us take take your name, so we won't be mocked as old maids. See, it's gonna be a shame in that time not to have a man of the Lord. It's gonna be a shame. So if you got the liberty right now to be able to try to obtain one of these men who is worshiping Bahasham and Yahawashi, and the Lord's put the spirit on you to be fond towards that man, you need to, make your move. You need to at some point. You can't just be in fear the whole time, because that fear is going to keep you from getting on them chariots. Because it's like I said, it's the prom and all the elect men, whomever they may be, and we're just the hopeful elect. We hope to be those men. But if we're one of those men, we got all the prom tickets. You ain't getting it. You ain't going to the prom if you ain't got one of us. Okay, you're not going to the prom. Okay, you're gonna get left. Okay, and it's not gonna be fun. Okay, and this is what we're supposed to be doing. This is for the men and the elect women. Whoever they may be, put on therefore as the elect of Yahawah, because it's 33% of our people. It's the 144,000 governing body, and then the honorable multitude, men, women, and children. There's gonna be maybe some men in the honorable multitude that's not part of the governing body, but they cling to the governing body. And what do? They put on the image of the elect. They're on the highways and byways. They teaching. They're doing everything they can to show you how about Shem Yahawashi. Pick me. Hey, pick me. I want to get saved. So put on therefore the elect of Yahawah, holy and beloved, bowls of mercies, bowels of mercies, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, and long suffering. And this is what's wrong with a lot of women that come across GMS. I'm not talking about the ones that's been around. I'm talking about the new ones. They come around and they see how sometimes we get out and we call out some of these wicked women and let them know. But we're not talking about the ones that's sincere. You can't just automatically assume they're talking about you. And if they are talking about you, then just repent, convert, and change your ways. And then they ain't gonna be talking about you no more. That's what they do it for, because there's not a lot of women out there who are really sincere, and wanting to be submissive to their man fully, So I'm just gonna pull up some more precepts real fast. Hold on, and it also talks about forbearing one another and forgiving one another. Talking about the brotherhood. If any man quarrel against any, even as Mashiach forgave you, so also do ye. And that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to forgive our brothers for anything. Sometimes brothers get into it. We're in hell. But we're supposed to aid the brotherhood more than anything. But the women are supposed to be the same way to the men. So I'm gonna do Isaiah 13:12. But yeah, it's gonna come to a point. It's gonna be a whole bunch of women pulling up on these men. Okay, whoever they may be. So you better pick you one, because this is what's gonna happen. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 12. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, even a man than the golden wedge of Ophir. And that's what he's doing. How are they going to be basically gold walking on the ground? Because they're going to be the only way you're getting in the chariots if you're there under their possession. Women look at that like you're our slaves or something. You're not our slave. Just because we say you're going to be under our possession, because it says that we become one flesh, and it says to honor your wives. We're not going dishonor somebody who's exalting the name, a woman that's exalting the name of Yahawashi. We're not going to do that. That's not how Great Millstone is, and the followers on down. These are very loving men. They just come on off austere as Yahawashi. Because that's how we're supposed to do it. But when it says not to be a lion in your household. Not going around screaming and doing all that at the house. We might be doing it on the highways and byways. When we at the house, we're gentle to our women. And that's for the brothers that do have women, and the ones, I'm about to have me a woman. You know what I mean? So this is why I'm coming up with a testimony about it. And it's all because of Bahasham Yahawashi. I wasn't looking for nothing. And I know that the Lord said, seek the kingdom of heaven first, and everything will be added unto you. And it's being added, you know. And she's already in that mode of, hey, I know you're going to have other wives, you know. And she's already in that mindset to be ready for it, you know. And just like some of the elders say, said, you're going to have some of these women that come up first. The woman is blessed, man. I'm not saying I'm part of the elect. I'm hoping I'm part of the elect, but I know I'm doing the work. So, you know, I'm at least halfway there, and I'm going to keep doing it. So it says right here, it's just, you know, some things about duties of the older than the younger wives. Speak thou the things which become sound doctrine. So you got to be, you know, rooted in this truth. You know, you want to know, you know, the ways of the Lord. And you're going to find out the ways of the Lord is that there's going to be many wives of each brother. Each brother's going to have many wives. That's just how it is. If you can't accept that, then you're really not born again. So that the aged men be sober, grave, temperate, sound in faith, in charity, and patience. The aged woman likewise, that they be in behavior as becometh holiness, not false accusers, not giving much to wine, teachers of good things. And there's a lot of women, you know, like we had that one woman come up talking about the grape doctrine, and how we all this and we evil, and you know, you ain't supposed to be like that. That they may teach the young woman to be sober, to love their husbands, to love their children, to be discreet, chaste, keepers at home, good, obedient to their own husbands, that the word of Yahweh be not blasphemed. So if you're blaspheming, you're blaspheming the name of the Lord by not doing good to your husband, you know. And then it says, young men likewise exhort to be sober-minded, which means know what's going on, know the times, know this is coming. Knowing if you are part of the elect, you need to have this understanding that you're going to have more than one wife. You're going to hear, okay, before the chariots come. Okay, they're going to be, you know, it's going to be how, just like that's how it's going to be set up. This prophecy must come to pass. Hasn't came to pass yet. You know, this will happen. You know, here, as it is on earth, as it is in heaven. You know, it's going to happen. So, for you, elect women out there, okay, whoever you may be, Lord willing, you part of that number. Lord willing, we part of that number. This is how you need to be towards these men. Okay, you need to be doing this. Okay, you need to be running frantically. Okay, you need to be, hey, I'm right here. Now you need to be dressed a little better than that, but you get the point. Okay, look at her, she's panting. Okay, and by the time you get over there, you need to be looking like this. You need to submit this much. Okay, all the way to the ground. Lay down. Okay, I'm here. I done ran all the way across the world. I done got over here. I'm trying to be with you. Okay, it needs to look like that. That's what we look like. Sprinting in Bahasham Yahawashi, dead sprint. Then ran 150 million miles, you know, spiritually, you know, in the faith. By the time you get there, you're on the ground. Lord, please. Look, I did all this, try to get here, show you I care. You know? That's how you need to be doing. You know? So we're gonna do First Corinthians. I'm trying to make this quick. 14:34. And like I said, you got some women that are conscious, but you know, eventually you're gonna have to reach out and say something. You know, we know we're supposed to keep, you know, we're gonna read this, and I'm gonna explain. Let your woman keep silence in the churches, let it not be permitted unto them to speak, but they are commanded to be under obedience, as also saith the law. And if they will learn anything, let them ask their husbands at home, for it's a shame for a woman to speak in the church. But if you're a single woman and you don't got no man, then you know you have to pray for the Lord to give you one. But you also, just like when we do, we pray for the Lord to give us strength, understanding, wisdom. But we still get up and do what? Go out to work. We ain't too over righteous. Still go out to work. That's why you had some women. I asked some of the elders questions, and the elders don't be like, "Oh, stop talking." If it's a sincere question, if the lady asks a sincere question, he goes, "Okay, I'm gonna answer this." You know.
And he's done. I've seen the elders do it before. You know, that these men will show mercy to those who the Lord tells them to have mercy on. But it says, you got to put yourself out there. And then once you put yourself out there and the man of the Lord claims you, that man's led by Yahawashi and Yahawashi. It's going to be the most spiritual man you've been with. It's not going to be, and if you get, that's if you're a spiritual woman, but we know that the woman is the weaker vessel, and we're supposed to honor them as the weaker vessel to understand that they're not going to be strong. That's why they're stronger than us. That's why we need to be able to tame them and guide them, and let them know this how it's going to be. Don't play around or you're going to get jacked up. How are we going to be able to do that? Because we're not going to jack them up. It's going to be Bahasham that jacks them up. That's why they're so, very stern on the women, because it just takes a little bit and the women will, the Satan can deceive her, especially Eve. And that's why a lot of brothers are not fond of taking Judite women, but there are elect Judite women out there. They got to be out there, and I just kind of just bringing this across just because me and my elder was talking about it, my elder camp leader, and he approved it for me to go ahead and do this testimony, and just bringing the raw truth of it. You women, you best start picking, because you're gonna come to the point where it's gonna be 120,000 women, 150,000 women running after him, and it's gonna be way harder to be someone who gets picked. So, this is another one. 2 Timothy, 1 Timothy chapter 2, verse 12. But I suffer a woman not to teach or to usurp authority over the man, but to be in silence. When he's talking, doesn't mean you can't talk to your man. Doesn't mean you can't have a conversation. And that's what they try to put it as. It's like we just gonna be total tyrants and not have conversation with you. Not be loving towards you. You're gonna be loving towards a woman that's loving towards you. You're supposed to be one flesh. You want to protect your wife. You don't want to just run through her. That's not how the men of the Lord think. There's no men of the Lord, especially in GMS, that's doing that. Okay, if any of them have wives, I promise you, they treat their wives good. Okay, they ain't none of them treating their wives bad. And if something happens, and something happens, and something breaks apart, is because the Lord wanted to inevitably happen because that woman wasn't good for that man. They supposed to aid us. See, the whole thing about it has flipped. Women still have that Western mindset of thinking that the man's gotta come after you and choose you. No, you need to go find the man and show why you can be a good wife to him. Because it tells us not to even look. He told us not to even look for a woman when you come in the truth. You don't got one. It also was saying that if you have a wife, not to be as if you had not have one, but it's coming to that time where the times have changed. And this time is coming up, so it's just something to consider. You're gonna have to get in where you fit in. That's the truth. If you really love Yahawashi Yahawashi, you're gonna exalt his men. You're gonna find one of them to call Lord, just like Sarah did to Abraham. But we're gonna pull that up in a second. We do Proverbs 131. So you need a man that's in possession of you. Because if you don't, because the Lord's not taking nothing but his elect men and whoever is clinging after them. That's the hopeful elect who's not afraid to cling to those men. So now it says, therefore, shall they eat of the fruit of their own way. Wait, that's not right. That's not right. That's not right. Salakia, hold on. No, that's right. This is this. I went off a little bit. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 6. And that can apply for this. Therefore shall they eat of the fruit of their own way and be filled with their own devices. Turning away of the simple shall slay them, and the prosperity of fools
shall destroy them, but whoso hearkeneth unto me shall dwell safety, shall be quiet from the fear of evil. So that's what you ultimately getting with one of these men for, to be hidden from evil. Okay, but you got these other women, who are like, oh, I don't need no man, I can just be on the convoy and do whatever, and I'm not, and if it don't apply to you, it don't apply to you. I'm just saying, if you're here as a woman of the elect, you need to be finding a man to serve. That's what you're doing. Just like we're coming to serve you. How about Yahawashi? You need to be finding a man to serve and convincing him, hey, I'm the best wife you gonna have. Okay, and I'm gonna be a good co-wife to the other wives. We all gonna be your best wife. Okay, that's what you need to be doing. So 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 6, even as Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord, Lord, a Lord, lowercase, we many lords, whose daughters ye are, as long as ye do well and are not afraid with any resentment. See, when it comes to a man in the spirit, he's not gonna treat you like you're a possession. That's not what we're saying. We're saying that you're only for us, and we're gonna value you more than all the other women. We're gonna hide you, from the face of destruction. Lord willing, we part of that number who are able to do that. You see what I'm saying? But right now, it's looking like it. We keep doing the work. So it says, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor unto the wife as unto the weaker vessel, and as being heirs together of the grace of life, that our prayers be not hindered. See, this is supposed to exalt the name of Yahawashi. That's what that marriage is supposed to do. Is to show that we believe in what he's saying is right by practicing it to the best of our abilities. But this is, subject that is not talked about that much, because, there's so many women that are deceitful at this time, but there are going to be many of them that come to these men that are not. They're going to be the elect lady. They're out there, and a lot of them has just been silent, you know. But you better start putting yourself out there. You better start looking like a pick me, okay? Because in that day, men gonna be, they're gonna be, Lord's gonna put the spirit on those specific men. They're gonna know. So, like right here, it says, thou art bound unto a wife, seek not to be loosed. Okay. Art thou loose from a wife, seek not a wife. See, we're not supposed to do none of that. We're not seeking none of that. But it says that it's not good for man to be alone. So if the Lord puts the spirit on a woman, she's going to, if the Lord puts the spirit on a woman to come and be like, I want you to claim me, that's not you seeking a wife. That's the Lord adding something to you, you know. Right here, I'll read it in the NLT. If you do have a wife, do not seek to end the marriage. See, if you do not have a wife, do not seek to get married, and we don't. But if you do get married, it is not a sin. And if a young woman gets married, it is not sin. However, those who get married at this time will have troubles, and I am trying to spare you those problems. Okay, so there will be troubles, and it is sparing, but that was at that time. But we're men. We're gonna want to be. We're gonna want to be. We're gonna have troubles. But it says those who suffer to exalt the name of Yahawashi, the Lord's going to accept that suffering. You know, that's what marriage is. We married to Yahawashi, and we're suffering for him. The suffering of sacrifice. You got to be able to be willing to sacrifice. But also says right here, 1 Corinthians chapter 7, verse 8 and 9. I'm almost done. I got a few more precepts, and I'm gonna be done. It says, I say therefore to the unmarried and widows, it is good for them if they abide even as I. But if they cannot contain, let them marry, for it is better to marry than to burn. And when it's not talking about burn, it's not talking about like burning the fire. It's talking about, on this passage, it's talking about burning with lust. Okay. So it says, but for those who are married, I have a command that comes not from me, but from the Lord Yahawashi. A wife must not leave her husband, but if she leaves him, and let her remain single, or else she be reconciled to him, and the husband must not leave his wife. But we know that you know, if someone loses their husband, which is a widow, and she seeks another man, then the Lord might bless her with one. Maybe will, maybe not. That's up to the Lord. But we know this, that for the brothers out there that do want a wife, brother, because marriage is basically sex. Okay, so when they say boyfriend, girlfriend, you basically married to that person. Especially in the truth. So that's why it's something you want to pray to Yahawashi about. But it's coming to that time to where everybody's going to know who these men are. And if you have been in this truth for a while and seen the works of these men, you know what a man of the Lord does. He's steadfast in the doctrine of Yahawashi. Period. It's all through the spirit. You got to think with your spirit, not just by looks. And of course, everybody is conscious about what they look, whatever, but this is bigger than us. What we're doing is bigger than us. And that's just kind of what I want to put out there. So Ecclesiasticus chapter 4, verse 30 says, be not a lion in thy house, nor a friend among thy servants. You see, you're not supposed to be, we're supposed to be men of peace. When we come to the house, we want peace. A lot of women in America, Babylon the Great, especially women that are not in the truth, they like drama. They like situations. They like stuff like that. You see? So, it's just something you really want to count the cost on, So it says, let not thine hand be stretched out to receive, and shut when thou shouldest repay. Set not thy heart upon goods. I say not, I have enough for my and say not, I have enough for my life. It will always never have enough when it comes to Yahawashi. We'll always, need more guidance, need more understanding. We'll always need, our elders and apostles, to guide us, as we take more steps into this truth. But it says a woman, a silent woman is a blessing to the Lord. But there's a lot of women, that they don't want to humble themselves and be under that authority. So Ecclesiasticus chapter 25, verse 16, I'd rather dwell with a lion and a dragon than to keep house with a wicked woman. So see, this is talking about wicked women. This isn't talking about the ones who have came back, repented, trying to change, to the best of your abilities, and you done came out of whatever you was doing, and you've been rooted in this truth, and you've learned, whoever the Lord put the spirit on you from that man. We know it's not going to be perfect, but that's why we have repentance. So right here, 1 Peter chapter 3, verse 7, likewise, ye husbands, dwell with them according to knowledge, giving honor to the wife as unto the weaker vessel. I think I already read that. Yep. And being heirs together of the grace of life, that your prayers may not be hindered. And that's what you're coming together for, to exalt the name of Yahawashi. But you got to know that it's going to come to a time to where if the man that you're with, who's in the truth, is of the elect, Lord willing, he's part of that number. Lord willing, we part of that number. He's going to have more than one wife. Period. This is going to happen. Okay. And Lord willing, we're here when the time comes around and we are those men. So I'll try not to do this too long. I need to get going. And I'm going to go handle my business. So Shalom to elective Israel, the hopeful elective Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native American, West Indian Haitians, and the foreign Israelites across the four corners of the earth. Got to give all praise to Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi, Barak, Yahawah, Barak, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. We give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Led me to this truth and have been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect. Whomever they may be, Lord willing to be part of, we be part of that number. Lord willing to be edifying to those who fear in the name of the Lord and striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment comes to light, Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, and it's not slack. 2 Peter 3, verse 9. So like I said, you ladies, hey, you better get to running, okay, in the spirit. This is how you need to be looking, panting, trying to get over there and find you one of these men to aid. You get to it. You're going to run out of time and you're going to get left. Shalom.